Wagwan. So some time ago, I was working at one of my per diem locations. So yes, I'd pick up shifts sporadically here, but I was aware of the people I was working with because it wasn't like an agency pickup. Like I was staff here, but not full-time staff, just as needed or as I wanted to. So it was a night shift. And on this particular unit, there is a period of downtime where nurses typically take that time to either take a quick break, sit down, catch up on some documenting, just do as much as they can so that when the oncoming shift comes, they could be like, nicely packaged, here you are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the break room and there's maybe, I'd say consistently like 2 nurses in there at a time. But I was on my lunch break, so I was in there for a solid 30 minutes. So maybe towards the end of my lunch break, and when I say 2 nurses at a time, like I wasn't sitting in there with another nurse for the entire 30 minutes consistently. There would be like a couple of nurses would leave and then a couple of nurses would come in, take some sips of coffee, take some sips of tea, catch up on some news or call a family member. I don't know. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know who they were calling, but whatever. So towards the end of my break, there are 2 coworkers that come in there. One of them, I'm not a huge fan of them because personally, I feel like this is the kind of person that people know how she is. And instead of somebody calling her out on it, they're just like, yeah, that's how she is. Well, let me explain, because I don't feel like anybody should just be like this and have it be accepted. I mean, there's also like personality traits that like, if you don't like me, you don't accept my personality traits, move on and hang out with somebody who you do like, traits that you do enjoy. But I'm still saying like there's still morals and ethics and things that just generally should not be okay. Okay? All right. So fast forward, I'm in there just sipping on soup because I learned that I can't eat anything super heavy during night shift. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to knock out heavy. Every man for themselves. Them patients going to be caring for themselves. So I'm literally sipping on some chicken noodle soup, okay? That being said, I'm minding my business and one of the nurses, we are nurses, so we do discuss things in grave detail and it doesn't bother us. It's rarely ever too much information. Rarely do you hear a nurse being like, ew, TMI, because we see everything all the time. It's not too much. We've seen it already. Whatever you're talking about, we've seen it times 10 in a much worse circumstance. So no, it's not too much information. So one of the nurses say, I'm so uncomfortable, like I'm ready for this shift to be over. And, she doesn't really say it to anybody in particular, but I respond and I'm like, oh, I hope everything's okay. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know these nurses. We're not at all in any way friends, but we know one another, okay? And so she was like, I don't know if it's like the brand of pads that I'm using, but it's making me like itchy, like I'm really uncomfortable. I don't like how it feels when I use these pads. And I've been using them like the past 3 times I've been on my cycle. And every time I come on my cycle, I have this issue. And I'm like, oh, well then get some different pads, baby girl. And she's like, I know, but I ordered it in bulk and I just want to use it out and it's going to be such a waste of money. And we're just kind of like laughing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. We spent money. Don't want to waste the money. You're thinking, should I suffer through the rest of the pads or should I just go buy a brand new pack and like watch the rest of the pads go to waste of the old pack? And so we'll call that nurse, I don't know. I be running out of names. Y'all know my name bank is slim. Livy. We'll call that nurse Livy. That's a nice person's name. The other nurse that's in there, we'll call her, I don't know, Gertrude. I go to that name a lot when I don't like the person, because I don't like the name Gertrude. So Gertrude pops into the conversation rather late. And she's like, are you sure it's the pads that you're allergic to or your lifestyle? And then she starts laughing to herself. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think that was funny. I didn't. But I just kind of stayed there sipping my soup, kind of smiling stupidly like, and just, you know, continue to converse with Livy. And so I'm asking her what brand it is, and I'm telling her maybe you're just getting more sensitive the older that you get. Like, shit happens, you know, like we're continuing the conversation. Here go Gertrude. Gertrude's like, maybe just go to the doctor and get tested. And now Livy is not shy by any means, but she's also looking like she's completely over Gertrude, because like I said, everybody sort of acknowledged that Gertrude is who she is, and she's quite annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? You ever just look at somebody and be like, why are you the way that you are? Like, how are you benefiting from this? So I said, well, if it's only happening during your period when you use the pads, it is more likely that it is a sensitivity, an allergic reaction, than it is another issue that you're implying. So Gertrude's like, well, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Itchy usually means one thing down here, you know what I'm saying? And then she starts cackling. So Livy was like, I'm sure you're familiar with what it means to be itchy consistently, Gertrude. Gertrude no longer thinks anything is funny. She's no longer cackling or implying, you know, inappropriate things. And she gets up, dumps the rest of her coffee out in the sink, and storms out of the break room. And now Livy was like, damn, was that too much? Like, did I go overboard? No, I don't think so. Y'all let me know, but I didn't think so. That was too much, Gertrude. That was too much. I really honestly feel like those comments were not called for. Like, if homegirl came in there and already gave the impression that she knew she had been with someone she had never been with before unprotected, or that her partner was cheating on her and she slept with him unprotected because they're partners, and she had said, you know, I'm experiencing some stuff, and you said, maybe go get checked out. That's not misplaced, but I feel like too much information was given to indicate that that was not the issue, nor was that a concern. And not only that, but the way Gertrude said it, it was like, why would that be funny? You know, like, why would that be something that you seem to be finding joy in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if Gertrude wasn't who she was, I wouldn't have been so quick. Somebody is at my door. We don't all need to know. Silence. I wouldn't have been so quick to immediately be like, okay, Gertrude, you're the problem. Like, I probably would have been more quick to say, these two probably have a history. Like, these two probably have a history of going back and forth with one another. But Gertrude has shown me and the rest of the unit, every time I come there, whenever she's working, that she has no cover over her mouth. Like, there's a time and place. Like, there's either an inability to read the room or a rejection of having read the room and being aware of what needs to be done in this circumstance, you know? But y'all let me know if you felt like Livy did too much. I don't. And in the meantime, check out my Patreon. I know I've been promising to post Epstein Street to the Patreon. I've already posted Shadow of a Doubt. Epstein Street is making its way over there, and I'm going to update with a brand new episode of Epstein Street. Not to worry. I'm so sorry about the delay. I've had a lot going on. Speaking of a lot going on, feel free to donate to that link below, just to help your girl support all of the projects that she's working on. And there's a new episode of Zyla, so make sure y'all go check that out. And, you know, put some positive vibes out there into the atmosphere for your girl. You know, we're trying to get some investors on board with some of these projects, and investors really love numbers. So subscribe. Send these videos to your friends. You know, hit that like button, comment, interact with your girl. I do a lot more interacting when I post pictures on my community page here on YouTube. Just like with more like solid updates on everything that's going on. And again, on my Patreon, there are more exclusive updates. So thanks for being patient with me, guys. I appreciate it. More projects are coming soon.